Hello, hello, my loves, and welcome back to Arana Soulbinder Tarot. I get a lot of questions on how I reset my deck or cleanse my deck in between readings or in between sessions, I would say. So this is just intended as an instructional video to let you know how I would reset my deck. I have my Art Nouveau deck here that needs to be reset and cleansed. So the first thing I do is I sort out the major arcana cards from the suit cards. And I just put everything in its upright position as it is supposed to be in the pile it belongs in. This is my method for how I do things. It is by no means the only way to do things, the only way to reset. Only you will know what works for you and what feels right to you. But this has always been my method, and it has always felt right to me to do it this way. So if this is interesting to you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. So all we're doing right now is we're sorting out the suits, and I'll go a little faster here, but we're just putting them all in the right piles so that we can put them in the correct order. My loves, it's important to cleanse your deck every once in a while. Anytime you feel negative energy from it, or you're having trouble reading from a deck because you feel like you're not connecting with it anymore, that's really important to cleanse your deck in those times. It's important to cleanse your deck if you've been reading a lot with it, or maybe you've had some bad energy or some anxiety lately and you just need to sort of wrap your head around that and enable yourself to disconnect from that energy. Sometimes this is just a good reset for your brain and for your energy and for your spirit, and for your connection to spirit as well. It's just a good way to sort of click the reset button, as it were. So we're almost done with dividing these up into the suits that they're supposed to go in. That's cups. And you will want to have ready, of course, the deck that you're cleansing and resetting. You'll want to have incense with you, or moon water perhaps, or fire perhaps. However you feel you need to cleanse. Some people cleanse just by praying over your cards. Whatever feels right to you, again, is really the only way to do it. So I'm going to start with the wands here, and I'm just going to start putting the cards in order, starting with the king. And I'm just going to go backwards through the deck and put these cards in order. 4, 3, 2, 1. And just repeat the process for all the suits. This can be very cathartic if you're having trouble with anxiety, or you have been experiencing a lot of chaotic thoughts in the recent past. This can be really cathartic to do, and just reset your spirit this way, or reset your mind. Give your mind something to do. There's so much going on in the world right now, and it's easy to get distracted by some of the things that are going on in the news and in the media, and just to feel overwhelmed by it. And this is a great thing to do when you feel that energy, so that you can just reset it and find your center again. Especially when it's hot outside, if you're not spending a lot of time outside, this is a good grounding activity for you. It really does help clear your energy and reset your connection to spirit as well. I've had people tell me that it was nice to meditate while I was doing this, to just sort of disconnect and watch the cards be reset and not worry about what's coming next in their life. I've had people just listen to music and turn my voice off and just watch me flip the cards, and that's been very calming and soothing to people. So for those of you who have been reading for a long time, and you have experienced this, sometimes it's nice just to have your hands on the cards. if it renews your connection in a way and just makes you feel like, oh yeah, this is why I do this, or this is why I believe that this is a thing, and it just feels good. Now we have the major arcana energy. So how I reset my deck is, again, in this case, I go from the first card all the way to the last card. I flip them upside down, and as I'm flipping them upside down, I'm thinking about what they mean and my connection to the cards. And I think about a time when I felt that way. And I just consider all of the cards as I'm turning them over. So, of course, we're starting with the Fool card. So we're going to just take our time and look for that card. Here it is. And I'm just going to meditate on it for a moment, and I'm going to think about the new beginnings that this represents, the change, the loyalty of my friends and family who walk with me, the opportunities, the chance to take a risk, the chance to see things with a new and pure mind that I had in the very beginning. And I'm going to thank Spirit for bringing me to this wonderful world of reading tarot and helping people in this way. And next I'm going to find the Magician card. And I'm going to think about the Magician and the fact that this represents manifestation. It represents power over all of the elements. It represents my ability to make my own future, create my own path, travel my own way. And I'm just really thankful for the Magician energy that I have the ability to write my own story. The High Priestess, of course, is a strong connection for anyone who is a spiritual leader or a healer or a tarot reader or anything along those lines, because she represents intuition and the third eye. She represents patience. She represents being present in the moment and hearing from Spirit. She represents duality of mind and spirit. And I'm just so thankful that I have the ability to connect with my spirituality and my intuition in this way. Next, we have the Empress. The Empress represents Mother Earth, fertility. She represents power, authenticity, authority, sort of having power over your own domain. When I see the Empress for my own life, I think about just how I've been allowed to be a mother for other people and for other people's children, even though I was never able to have my own. And that I've been granted this opportunity from Spirit to help others in that mama bear kind of protective sort of way. And how much I love that, and I'm thankful for it. Next is the Emperor, and I'm just so grateful for Emperor energy that is powerful and authentic, protective. It's sort of a sacrificial kind of energy where the Emperor is willing to sacrifice anything that is needed to get me into my abundance and where I need to be. And I'm just so thankful for that. The Hierophant reminds me of where I come from. Tradition, religion, faith, education. The Hierophant is a grounding sort of energy and reminds us that everything we do is for a reason. I'm grateful for the Hierophant to remind me that even though my past didn't always serve me well, it's what brought me here in this moment, and I'm thankful for that. The Lovers. The Lovers remind me that we're all connected in a way, and we're all connected to spirit, and we're all able to have partnerships with each other and with spirit and to enjoy those. The Lover's card also reminds me that gods, the higher powers are real, and that it's a very personal thing for us to connect to our higher powers. And I'm very grateful for that personal connection. The Chariot is one of my favorite cards in the deck, and it's because it's a symbol of moving forward, but not just moving forward randomly, moving forward with purpose. When you're on top of this chariot, you have a 360 view of everything around you. You understand why the past has happened. You understand everything that has brought you to this point. And you're able to make decisions and move forward based on that. And I'm just so thankful that my past guides me. The Strength card is a beautiful card. I've never seen a Strength card that wasn't beautiful. And it just reminds me that even though I look soft on the outside, even though I have a soft heart, there's still that lion inside me. There's still that fierce beast inside me that is protecting me and guiding me through life. It's very much kind of a bad bitch energy. And I'm thankful to Spirit for reminding me of that when I do these readings. The Hermit card reminds us that not everything has to be done with help. Sometimes it's necessary for us to withdraw from social media, from family, from friends, from television, from the outside world, and just remember our spiritual awakening, how it happened, why it happened, and what we remember about that and what touched us about that. It represents light. It represents wisdom. It represents everything that brought us up to this point. And I'm thankful for those times when I get to be alone with my thoughts and just figure out what it is I need to do to move forward next. I think it's fitting that the Wheel of Fortune is the 10th card. Sort of reminds me of a decade, the end of a decade, the end of a season. And the Wheel of Fortune card is symbolic of good fortune and wonderful things happening as a result of everything that's led up to this, as a result of that spiritual awakening that we see with the Hermit card. And the Wheel of Fortune reminds us that we're all connected, that there's a web of connectivity among all of us, and that even though we have that hermit energy sometimes and need to withdraw sometimes, that it's the connectivity that moves us forward and gives us strength. I love the Sphinx on this particular Wheel of Fortune. Just feels like a grounding energy and a permanence. I'm very thankful for the good fortune that Spirit has provided me and the ability to speak and to read all of these things and just to know that I have a message for someone. The Justice card. The Justice card. The Justice card represents liberty, honesty, freedom. She represents justice, truth. She represents honor. She is everything that I strive for in life. I strive to be an honorable person. I strive to be a truthful person. I strive to be fair in my dealings. But I also strive to be the kind of person who is willing to cut down my enemies and the enemies of my loved ones when it's needed, spiritually speaking. And Justice is always ready for that. She's prepared to provide grace, and she's also prepared to provide judgment. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man provides us a new perspective on things. Now that we've seen the truth, now that we've been able to connect with ourselves, now that we've been able to connect with others, now that we've started fresh and been able to see our power, now we are able to see a new perspective than we ever did at the beginning. And that's just so invaluable. And I'm so thankful for the chance to see things in a new light and to not be so set in my ways that I can't change my mind. I like that I can see things in new ways and change my mind if I need to. Death is one of the scarier cards in the major arcana for some people. But really, this is a representation of rebirth. This represents the dying away of things that no longer serve us and the rebirth of positive, wonderful things that we need in our lives. This is the old dying away and the new coming forward. We're no longer stuck in reliving our past. We're rooted in tradition, but we're no longer stuck in that. And we're able to be reborn. This is the death of the old self and the birth of the new self. I'm thankful that I get to reinvent myself every now and then. Temperance says that now that we have died to the old and are being reborn, that now we're able to see the balance in all things. Without shadow, there can be no light. Without bad, there can be no good. Without storms, there can be no flowers. And temperance reminds us that life is always a balance. She also reminds us that sometimes we need to be patient for things. Not everything happens in our own timing. Sometimes it's the divine's timing. And I'm thankful that I don't have to know everything. Next, we have the Devil card. The Devil card is a reminder that sometimes we hold ourselves back. Sometimes we allow things to get in the way of us being successful, whether that is time spent on things that don't serve us, too much time being lazy, watching TV, whether it's addiction, gambling. For me, I think that I would say my relationship with money and food needs to be repaired. These things are things that hold us back because we haven't dealt with them yet. And so I'm thankful that the devil reminds me that there are still things I can let go of in order to move myself forward. the Tower card. It's fitting that the Tower card comes after the Devil because the Tower represents tearing down everything that has been built all the way to the foundation, burning it all to the ground in favor of building something new. Taking all of this knowledge of the journey so far and building something new. We don't have to live in the old space anymore. We can burn it out and start fresh. And I'm thankful that we're able to do that even after that Devil energy. The star represents hope. That even after that tower is torn down and broken down to the foundation, that we are able to build it back up and move forward. I love the star and the hope that it represents because it reminds me that nothing is permanent. And I'm able to make my own choices. The moon reminds me that I don't have to say everything out loud. That some things are better left unsaid. That I can make my moves in silence. That I can keep healthy secrets if I need to. But it also reminds me that in those moments of secrecy and keeping things quiet, that I can have someone close to me to confide in. I can confide in my pack. And I can feel connected to the moon in that way. So that I'm never alone. The sun is a sign of happy things to come and joy and positivity. It's the culmination of hope and things left in the dark. It's the culmination of the journey and finding joy in those things. And not forgetting about the past, but growing something new from it. And being reborn and feeling childlike again in all of the things that I'm doing and all of the endeavors that I'm taking and embarking on. The Judgment card reminds me that everyone has a calling, that we're all called to do something, that there's all something special for us and meaningful for us. And I'm so thankful that I find new reasons for myself to be alive every day. Sometimes I really struggle to do that, but I always find it. And lastly, the World. The World card is a reminder that all things come to an end, that all lessons are learned, that we're able to move forward after that, and that our stubbornness and our ferocity, that our human nature and that our hunting nature, it's all come to fruition for us to learn this lesson and to be able to move forward into the next one. And I'm really thankful that we can close doors so that we can open new ones. And now that my deck is reset, I'm going to go ahead and put all of my cards together. Some people will choose to cleanse their cards with incense, smoke. Some people choose to anoint them with moon water or put them near moon water or charge them in the full moon. I prefer to meditate on my cards quietly and in private, so I'm going to do that after this video is over. But I'm just going to take a moment to be thankful to these cards for all of the messages they've helped me deliver, to connect with Spirit in the way that I've been able to, and just speak to me in the way that they have. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that it helped you, and that in some way you are able to connect with your cards a little bit better for having seen it. If that's the case, please consider subscribing to my channel, liking this video and leaving me a comment and letting me know what else it is you would like to see. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I love you.